In Chile, police forces repressed demonstrations in commemoration of the victims of the coup d'etat against Salvador Allende in 1973. In Brazil, the Superior Electoral Court ordered Jair Bolsonaro to remove from his campaign propaganda images of the nation's bicentennial celebration. And more than 100 soldiers in China have scaled mountains and waded through the creeks to carry tons of relief materials to the isolated quake-stricken area after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit Lundin County of Gansu Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture in the southwest Sichuan province. From the headquarters of TeleSUR English in Havana, Cuba, this is From the South. I'm your anchor, Gladys Quesada, and these are the news. In Chile, at least one person was injured by eye trauma after Carabineros, the riot police, repressed demonstrations commemorating the 49th anniversary of the coup against Salvador Allende. In this sense, demonstrators denounced the use of water cannons and the tear gas that prevented the development of the celebrations near La Moneda Palace. The new acts of repression take place within the framework of a day of remembrance of the more than 2,000 people who disappeared during the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. These new demonstrations mark a new anniversary of the coup d'etat, where President Salvador Allende died, and Pinochet's civil-military dictatorship was established, which systematically violated the human rights of more than 40,000 Chileans.
Hello, I am Victoria Herrera, national spokeswoman for Ucamau. Here we are, the movement of settlers, the guerrillas of Ucamau. Here we are again participating in the pilgrimage, remembering our history, remembering those who died fighting in our country and who raised a struggle of the workers' movement. We continue with a vindicating struggle for us, which is the right to housing and citizenship, remembering that movement that was raised during a historical process for our country. So we will continue marching every year in this pilgrimage, and we will continue to vindicate those rights denied to the workers.
Likewise, the participants emphasize the main purpose of this movement is to remind and show the government that everything that happened will not be forgotten.
My name is Rosa Silva, and once again we are here in a pilgrimage, and I believe that today, more than ever, it is necessary to keep the memory, because to do so is to make history, and those who do not know their history cannot move forward. But we are here also to demonstrate to all these governments that it is not easy to forget everything that has happened. It is not possible institutionally to make a clean sweep. There is a historical debt here, which seems to be fractured, fragmented, and what I like the most about this moment is to see so many young people, because this is a slightly different march to the traditional one that is back there.
Now we move on to other topics. Panama authorities reinforce preventive measures in response to an outbreak of malaria cases in the country. According to a report from the Ministry of Health, over 4,000 positive cases have been registered, most of them in Gunayala region, with 1,513 cases, and the provinces of East Panama with 904 and Darien with 824 cases. The institution indicated that prevention actions were intensified, as well as a strategy for research, diagnosis, and treatment. Malaria is a disease caused by a Plasmodium parasite transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito. Symptoms include fever, sweating, and chills that appear between 10 and 15 days after the insect bite. In Peru, health authorities confirmed nearly 1,900 cases of monkeypox. In its most recent release, Peruvian health authorities reported 52 new cases of monkeypox in the country, bringing to 1,896 the total number of infected people in the nation. Likewise, health authorities reported that some 374 patients were discharged from the hospital and indicated that all those positive for the disease are being treated according to the medical protocols. The report indicates that the disease has been registered in some 17 regions of the country, and Metropolitan Lima is the one with the highest number, with 1,501 cases. Indigenous leaders from 9 Amazon countries gathered in the Peruvian capital Lima to launch a bid to save 80% of the Amazon by 2025. At the 5th Amazon Summit of Indigenous Peoples in Lima, leaders from across the Amazon basin made their proposals to fight climate change by saving the world's largest tropical rainforest from destruction. Indigenous representatives from Peru, Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia, Venezuela, French Guiana, and Suriname came together to demand a halt to the destruction of their home. The plan to protect 80% of the Amazon by 2025 will be submitted to governments at the 2022 COP27 Climate Summit in November and the United Nations Biodiversity Summit in December for adoption.
La Amazonía todavía tenemos el 20% del agua potable.
In the Amazon, we have 20% of the world's drinking water. In the Amazon, we have the same amount of biodiversity that can still be saved. But besides that, it is our home. It is our home that is being polluted. It's being burned, it's being used for illicit activities and criminal economies, and it is being used to extract natural resources that do not benefit our communities.
No one can talk on their behalf. Their voices are very loud and clear, and they're the ones that have the knowledge for millenniums on how to preserve their home, that it's the forest.
We'll take a short break now. Join us again after this. Welcome back to From the South. In Brazil, the Superior Electoral Court ordered presidential candidate Jair Bolsonaro to remove from his campaign propaganda images of the official events from the nation's bicentennial. In response to the request of the coalition of parties and movements supporting candidate Luis Ignacio Lula da Silva, Superior Electoral Court Minister Benedito Gonçalves ordered the exclusion of the images taken during the official events of September 7th for the country's bicentenary from all campaign materials of the candidate for re-election. The ruling ordered the instruction to TV Brazil to remove from its broadcasts the footage of the coverage of this commemoration that promotes Bolsonaro's candidacy. The deadline for the implementation of the ruling is 24 hours, and its non-compliance carries a fine equivalent to $10,000. And Prime Minister Gaston Brownie announced plans to hold a referendum in Antigua and Barbuda to allow the people to decide whether they want to secede from the British monarchy. The Prime Minister said it is a decision to be made by means of a referendum and estimates that it could be held within the next 3 years. At present, Antigua and Barbuda is part of the Commonwealth, a voluntary association that, in addition to the United Kingdom, includes almost all of its former colonies. And the head of the state said the move to a republic is not a sign of hostility towards the monarchy, but a last step to complete the cycle of independence.
Or any difference between Antigua and Barbuda and the monarchy, but it is the final step, as I said before, to complete that circle of independence, to ensure that we are truly.
And violence continues in Colombia. This Sunday, a new social leader was murdered in the city of Barranca Bermeja in Santander department. According to the Institute for Development and Peace Studies in the past, the victim was identified as Cibares Lamprea Vargas, 42 years old. Also, Cibares was leaving his father's funeral at about 8:30 p.m. local time when a group of assassins shot him multiple times at Camilo Torres Park. The social leader Cibares Alamprea Vargas stood out as Secretary of Administrative Affairs at Barranca Bermeja's Subdirectorate of Oil Workers, the union in the oil industry. According to IndyPass, 126 social leaders have been assassinated so far this year throughout the country and 2 in the Colombian capital. Turkey's government denounced on Sunday that a Greek vessel fired multiple shots against a Turkish cargo ship in international waters. According to the Turkish authorities, on Friday afternoon, the Greeks fired several times at the Anatolian ship flagged to Comoro Islands while traveling in international waters 11 nautical miles southwest of the island of Bozkeda. Turkey's diplomatic corps pointed out that Greek vessels moved away from the area after the arrival of the Turkish Coast Guard boats and started to act suspiciously before violating international law. Meanwhile, the Greek Coast Guard claimed that Anatolian's captain did not comply with the patrol vessel's order to stop for inspection during the chase, and warning shots were fired to a safe area. And Montenegro's government denounces having been the victim of a cyber attack that caused this weekend the collapse of all government pages and the halt of internet services in most of the country. The cyber blackouts comes amid a massive cyber attack against the small Balkan state that began around August 20th and has been described by experts as unprecedented in its intensity and scope. The attack crippled the government's online information platforms and put at high risk Montenegro's critical infrastructure, including banking, water, and power systems. As noted by Montenegro's defense minister, the entire state system, the system of state administration, and the system of services to citizens are operating on a restrictive level.
All the investments we made in security for the system, these hacking attacks show how in this global world you are faced with this sort of destruction, which seriously paralyzed the system. We have been faced with serious challenges related to the cyber attack for about 20 days, and the entire state system, the system of state administration, and the system of services to citizens are functioning at a rather restrictive level.
Iran strongly rejected on Monday the allegations it was behind a cyber attack against Albania. Albania cut diplomatic ties with Iran last week and expelled the country's embassy staff over a major cyber attack nearly 2 months ago that was allegedly carried out by Tehran on Albanian government websites. The move by Albania was the first known case of a country cutting diplomatic relations over a cyber attack. Spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry, Naser Kanani, said those allegations were false, urging Albania not to sacrifice its national interests for political motives. Kanani also denied reports that Iran has raised new demands beyond the 2015 nuclear deal in its latest response to the other parties.
The Islamic Republic of Iran strongly rejects these allegations and advises the Albanian government not to sacrifice its national interests for political motives and interests of the American government, the Zionist regime, and others.
And we have more news coming up after a final short break, so stay with us. Welcome back. More than 100 soldiers in China have scaled mountains and waddled through creeks to carry tons of relief materials to the isolated quake-stricken area after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit Luring County of Gansu Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture in the southwest Sichuan province. So far, more than 13,000 rescue personnel from the People's Liberation Army, the PLA, the Armed Police, the Fire Department, and the Special Police Forces have been deployed to conduct rescue operations. Up till now, 135 trapped residents have been evacuated and 13 tons of relief materials were being delivered. Local disaster relief and reduction authorities have dispatched more than 20 experts to help analyze and alleviate the disaster and relief work. By Sunday, the earthquake has left 93 dead and 25 missing. And the 19th China-Asian Expo and Business Investment Summit, to be held in China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region from September 16th to 19th, will gradually promote economic and trade cooperation between China and the 10 Asian countries. Themed around sharing new opportunities of the regional comprehensive economic partnership, the events will showcase the new achievements in trade cooperation between the sides. This year's Expo, for the first time, will feature several actions on top-notch products from Asian and RCEP member states, as well as China's central government-owned enterprises. Other areas will be new energy vehicles, culture and tourism, healthcare, cross-border e-commerce, and new retail. China has remained Asia's largest trading partner for 13 consecutive years. During the first 7 months of this year, their trade with each other surged 13.1% year-on-year to $544.9 billion, accounting for 15% of China's total foreign trade during the period.
We will hold multiple trade and investment promotion activities, such as introduction and marketing event for Asian member states, investment fairs for cooperative industrial park, business matchmaking meetings, so as to promote the integrative development of the China-Asian industrial chain and supply chain. We will also host online consultation between suppliers from the Asian countries and China's professional purchasers for trade matchmaking.
And the 22nd China medical team in Rwanda gave a 3-day free consultation and treatment service at the Ganha Health Center in Kigali, which was welcomed and praised by the local patients. The team provided health consultation, ultrasound, dental, and electrocardiogram examinations, as well as acupuncture and massage services for the local people. 12 medical workers of the team specialize in internal medicine, such as surgery, orthopedics, obstetrics, and gynecology, stomatology, traditional Chinese medicine, and other disciplines, diagnosed and treated more than 300 patients. The Chinese medical team also distributed medicines to patients free of charge and donated medicines, medical supplies, and anti-epidemic goods to the Ganha Health Center.
I am so grateful for the free clinic activities at Kahanda Health Center. The Chinese medical team has helped the community treat a large number of local patients. These diseases cannot be treated in the local area. I would recommend others to come to the Chinese medical team for treatment.
The free medical service this time is mainly to provide convenience for local people, relieve their pains, improve their medical and health conditions, and help improve the local health standards.
TeleSUR English continues to grow. Its signal now reaches Europe. You can order it from your cable dealer or tune it yourself. These parameters that you see on the screen are in place since July 1st. Quite soon, further changes will be implemented for the signals in the Middle East and Africa. Now, more than ever, the world connects to us, and our stories are heard in other farther away nations. This news multi-platform will continue providing truthful content to oppose the hegemonic media's narrative and our faithfulness to our audience. We have come to the end of this news brief, but remember, you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. And also, if you feel so inclined, please join us on social media for all the latest news. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. And now you can also follow us on our TikTok account at TeleSUR English, in which you will be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. For TeleSUR English, I'm Gladys Quesada. Thank you for watching.